Hello, beloved friends. Well, it is actually 12:12 today, so I'm back to my 12:12 for today, but it's really awareness moments with Kira whenever you join in, and grateful for each of you that participate and the feedback that you share. And anytime that you like or share this, I do post it on my personal YouTube channel, Reverend Kira Bear. So it's there as well as on my Facebook as a live, and love to have you all share, get people to subscribe, any of those things, so that we can share the good news message, the message of awareness in this moment, of how do we live from awareness and what does that mean for us. And so I want to invite us today. Hi, Jen. Good to see you on here and all the ways that I get the opportunity to be with you. And we were having this wonderful conversation today in our, welcome Carol Curtis, in our study group on Paul Selig material, which I just love. We're working with the Book of Freedom right now, and it's very powerful. And one of the things we were really talking about of what it means to really surrender our heart to the divine, to fulfill the highest desires of our heart. Welcome, Misty Fain and Ed Casper. Great to have you both here. And what is it to really believe and trust that the universal consciousness is really wants the desires of our heart to be fulfilled? And yet it requires from us a willingness to acknowledge the desires of our heart, first of all, at the deepest awareness level. What are the true desires of my soul, the desires of my heart that maybe I'm afraid to speak for, or maybe I'm afraid to even acknowledge within myself because I don't trust that I can have them. I don't trust that the universe is out to fulfill the highest good always. And a part of what we're learning is to open to the realization that the universal flow of consciousness is available. Its highest principle is to bring forth the highest good for one and all. And it is always working on that direction. Our job is to surrender and be willing to allow our heart to be vulnerable, to allow ourselves to be vulnerable that, if I really expose my true desire of my heart, even to myself, first of all, of recognizing where I've withheld from myself the right or the ability to have everything that I desire. How many times do I withhold because I don't trust I can have it, or I don't think I'm worthy, or I feel like, oh my gosh, well, it can't, I have prescribed ways that I think it can come to me. And what if instead the universe is always trying to bring us that, but we just have to clarify our signal and then get our fear self out of the way. We have a lot of fears that are up right now as we look at the world, and we want the world to be operating with more harmony and love and peace. We want to see that in ways that I know that that's my heart's desire, is for that deep peace in this world. Welcome Marilyn Hardy and Kimberly Wright. And I want that deep peace in me, and I want it in the world. I want everyone to have their heart's desire fulfilled. I mean, imagine the kind of world we can create if everybody is operating from already feeling fulfilled. If already experience that the divine is working in alignment with them to bring them that which they desire, and their willingness to be vulnerable enough to own and experience what is available, what's possible, rather than the fear and the experiences of pain from the past driving us. Welcome Marilyn Hardy and Carolyn Matlin and Robert Ray and Keith Vivens. Glad to have you all here with us as well. And if we are really to fulfill our heart's desire and to recognize that the universe is supporting us in doing that, it's not even about us going and making it happen. We can get in the way because we have unfinished things within our own being where we've held grief or sadness, or we felt betrayed by life. We're still feeling that as we look at the circumstances of the world, and the small self wants to then say, well, this is the way it is, and it wants to describe it according to the appearance. But our soul needs to recognize that it is so important to be aware of something greater, something so beyond this realm of existence that already is in the journey of fulfilling itself. Why would any of these experiences be rising up if it weren't for us to heal and open to that infinite side of our nature, to that awareness that there is this greater harmony, this greater peace, this greater experience of love and healing and wholeness that is really wanting itself to express for each and every one of us. Not for some of us, but for each and every one of us. Welcome, Christine Rainwater and Eva Smith Morgan. Thank you, Rob, for your comment. And it is really this place of where am I in allowing the universe to really allow my soul to express and receive that which I desire. Do I believe it's possible? I was talking about, recently I went through this experience where I didn't realize I was not trusting that I could have everything I desired. And I was getting ready to go on a sabbatical in August, and I was thinking about how can I make that happen and handle all the finances and all the this and that, and it was interesting because at some level I had this disconnect that I could have everything I desire. So I was thinking, well, I'll sell the house. And it was fascinating when I look back and realize how ridiculous my thinking was. Like, there's a lot of different ways to get the funds to deal with my sabbatical and do everything that I wanted. I wanted the freedom to have everything I desired for my sabbatical, right? The experiences that I'm seeking, to get out in nature and be out in various places and be able to travel and do what I like. And at the same time, it's like, but I didn't see how it was possible. I was in my own way. I had old fears, old pain, old doubts that were in the way. And when I suddenly realized I had this either or kind of idea going, and I went to a both and, well, wait, no, of course I can keep the house. I love my house. My house is an expression of me in so many ways, and it was divinely inspired in the way that it came to me, right? And so it was like, no, wait, I can have all of this and have the freedom and the time and the money and whatever's needed to do what I need to do on my sabbatical, to find that inner renewal and experience in the places that I choose to be. Well, as soon as I got the clarity of my true heart's desire, bam, the universe came in and showed me where I was out of alignment. And as soon as I got that, and I went, I'm not selling the house. That's just silly. I had to laugh at myself because sometimes our fear creates these dynamics where we're literally silly in the things that we think, or the way the mind wants to kind of manipulate and make complex something that is very simple, and I laughed. I thought, well, go take out a loan if that's what you need, or go put it on your credit card if you need. But in the meantime, then the minute I got the decision, I have had so much prosperity and so many ways that the universe has shown me support for everything my heart desires, right? It's like, it's so much bigger than we can even imagine of what's possible. The way that the alchemy of the universe will bring us our heart's desire when we're willing to be vulnerable, when we're willing to acknowledge, oh, this is what I truly desire. But we are afraid to even own our true desires, to be willing to accept and realize, oh, well, this is everything, because who am I to want all of it, to have everything that I desire? Well, I can have this, but let me not accept, let me accept something less over here. And what if instead we can have it all? I want you to take that in your own heart for this moment. Welcome, Peggy Conklin-Pettibone and Jennifer Vohan. So great to see you both here. What if you can have everything your heart desires? The universe is just waiting to rush in. See, we are in a time right now where the healing that is happening on our planet, the healing at a level that we have longed for, this is a heart's desire. It may not look like what we thought in the way that it's coming forth, but our heart's desire is for healing. It's for our oneness. It's for the oneness of humanity. It's for us acknowledging the value of every single being and all of creation. And so what's happening is the universe is bringing those places up where the healing wants to occur, where it wants to shift us into another vibrational field of light and love so that we can fulfill the greatest desires of our hearts. One of the greatest desires of my heart is for the healing of our consciousness, for the place where we recognize and love and honor each and every being. Let us hold that. And whatever but I have personal desires too, and it's okay to have personal desires. In fact, it's important for us to honor and acknowledge those, because as we fulfill those, we understand what it feels like and how to participate then in fulfilling the greater good that the universe is wanting to bring to play. See, the universe is working with us right now. It always is working with us, but we're opening up in our vulnerability, in our struggle with the way the world is and how it's not meeting what our true heart desire is. So as we open up and allow to experience that, then our true heart's desire sends out that information to the universe, and we begin to participate. And we'll find the ways that are inspired action for us. But when we don't feel worthy of our own heart's desire, how can we support the world in fulfilling its greater heart's desire? We're learning to understand we are a divine vessel, one that is in alignment with this higher good, and everything will be used for higher good. I'm not saying everything is higher good in the moment or appears that way, but it will be used by the divine to take us to a new realization, to a greater experience, to begin to be a catalyst for something new to be born. So I invite you to find that place in you where you are touching into your own heart's desire. Welcome, Sue Addis Dayton, Doreen Cumberford, Marilyn Hardy. Thank you for your message. We are here to learn to trust the desires of our heart. Desire means of the Father. It means of the God essence within us. It means of our true awareness. When we have a desire, it's because it is meant to be fulfilled. We are meant to live in the realization that we live in an abundant universe that is always supplying greater good to us, greater harmony, greater peace, greater awareness. And the more we can begin to live from that awareness and understand the divine light in every particle of existence, in every being, regardless of what is occurring, that every being has that light of the divine within them, is a part of this divine interplay. When we realize that, not just as a nice concept, but it becomes a realization in our soul, then we become a part of the alchemy. We become a part of that which is transforming the very experience of the world. Everyone becomes infected and affected with that kind of a love, that kind of a trust, that kind of a light realization. And we become a vessel for that in the world. And we cannot help but begin to magnetize together those of us that are working on behalf of the divine to bring, as we all are ultimately, but those that are consciously aware that we are part of that solution in this world, that we are holding the light at a higher and higher vibratory level, a higher quotient of light. And yes, it can create a disturbance in others, but it's a disturbance that's meant to happen, and even in ourselves, to bring up things for healing. So I am grateful for every desire of your heart, and may you fully express that and experience that and feel the power of that in your own life, that as you allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to say, I'm willing to receive the great desires of my heart. It may start in one little way and this little way, and we begin to notice and give thanks. And then all of a sudden, every desire of our heart is fulfilled in the most magnificent ways, far beyond what we could have imagined. I hold you in the light of the truth of who you are and what you are as a divine light. and a presence, and how you serve with your presence in this world. And I am grateful for the truth that is emerging as we begin to open ourselves to love more powerfully, to experience more purely the divine light and love of this universe. I am so grateful for each one of you. My heart is full. Thank you, God. Have a blessed, blessed day. Bye-bye.